and welcome back to some more. Welcome back. We're doing more Rune Factory once again. That's, oh, I thought there was two of the same person there for a moment. I was doing a mighty concern. Right, do it that way. So I have no idea why I left off after the last episode, but all I know is I should go here. It is which day of the week? It is a Tuesday already. So I should have a lot to talk about, right? Because I just came back from a convention. Okay. So the bundle that I purchased had 20 Commander game entries to it. However, if you go to the event before noon to start up a Commander game, you can get a prized casual Commander game for free. So really, the only times to play Commander using the prize vouchers was from noon until they stopped, starting Commander games, which for Friday and Saturday meant noon to 8 p.m. for starting games. Okay, then. Controller disconnected. If it's going to keep disconnecting over and over again, then this is not going to be a very good play. What else was there? Right. So each Commander game takes about an hour, hour and a half. So start at noon, start at 1:30, start at 3, 4:30, 6, then 7:30. Unless it takes, more than that. So, spoiler alert, at the end of the whole event, I wound up with about 6 extra prize vouchers, because on Sunday, even though, for Friday and Saturday, the event ends at 10 p.m., and for Sunday, it was supposed to close at 8 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, they stopped starting new Commander games 2 hours before closing. On Sunday, they stopped starting new Commander games 4 hours before closing. I thought they would stop at 6. I want to be able to, use 4 vouchers, sign up as all 4 parts of a pod, just so I could get a bit of extra pricing and stuff. But no. So, whatever. You go in, pass one of the vouchers over to sign yourself up for a game, and when you get into a game, what do you get? You get... Okay, so each person gets a little coin that's worth 25 prize tickets, effectively the price of a regular booster pack. More or less on that later. And you get a promo arcane signet, which supposedly sells for $10, and considering entry fee is $5. Yeah, that's pretty decent. I'm really guessing that arcane signet is going to just tank in price really soon. But, who knows, whatever. Still, fancy arcane signet, still need those for commander decks anyway, so it's whatevs. And starting for starting on Saturday and also for all of Sunday, there was also a second promo, but it's just some cheap whatever, not a big deal card. So not entirely sure why they started introducing that as part of it, but they did, so whatever, extra thing. And the winner of the game gets an extra coin. However, on Saturday, I did sign up. Oh no, yeah. However, ahead of time, I had signed up for a special event. Now, I wanted to take part in the content creator, archenemy, and plane chase stuff. Unfortunately, first of all, it seems to have been archenemy or plane chase as 2 separate things. And second of all, I never got to actually do an archenemy or a plane chase game all weekend. Actually, unfortunate because I brought the archenemy and plane chase cards, but no one wanted to play plane chase, so whatever. However, there was a big old grand melee going on. Nice big event. So the Grand Melee is a 10 plus player commander game with a range of influence of 1. If a player does get eliminated from the game, they're not like taken out until the turn passes, and there are multiple turn markers going around at once. Every third player can have a turn marker. There were, I believe, 24 players in the Grand Melee to start things off. And we were in tables arranged like... It's like in the shape of an eye, but the bottom line was like moved to the middle. If you think about it, it's like a T with like an extra line in the middle. With all of the tables. And I was right at the top of all of that, so I could see like everything pretty decently. So yeah, you can only attack to the left, so like if one person has I win the game combo, the two people next to them are out. They have to pass a turn, next player can go on. And like range of influence kind of shifts, so now they have two new people on their sides who might have a fully developed board state and whatnot. You see. To try to prevent someone from just doing like, I don't know, I'll grape shot for 1,000,000 and defeat the entire table at once. Like, nope, can't do that. I, however, did get a combo out where I could activate the... So I could activate the combo, kill the... or whatever, defeat the two players adjacent to me, pass the turn. Hey, on your upkeep, I'll defeat the two players adjacent to me again. Because... yeah, I bought my artifact deck, made infinite mana, then used Staff of Domination to get infinite life, then used Aetherflux to deal infinite damage. There was a player partway across the table who thought that they could deal with it, but they really couldn't. They tried, sure, they tried. They couldn't do anything. But the thing is, since I knew that there was a player down there who was setting up a threat to me, I could set up my board to protect myself before he reaches into my range of influence, so he can't do anything to me. So yeah, I had a bit of fun with that. And, oh yeah, so for winning the Grand Melee, I got an extra 1,000 prize tickets. So I used the 1,100, because it's 100 for entering, an extra 1,000 for winning. Those 1,100 prize tickets, plus some extra prize ticket tokens that I had. And I'm still, what, 9 behind on strength? Eight if I ever wind up drinking potion. You know what? That's right, I should leave. Actually, is it really a good idea to leave after all? You know what? Yeah. Leave, go back in here. See, whatever. I used all those prize tickets to buy myself an Invention Platinum Angel. The fanciest version of my favorite magic card. And as another prize for winning the Grand Melee, I got an oversized magic card. So now I have like a 3-foot tall Staff of Domination hanging on my bedroom wall. It's so cool. So yeah, 19. All I need to do is win 99 more Grand Melees, and I can get a new commander attack. This card is like comically oversized. Like, you could play like a 2-player game and have both people use it as the playmat. Heck, I could arrange a 4-player game using that as the 4-player playmat. It is big. And the idea of just making a commander deck with 100 such cards like that just makes me laugh so much. So, yeah, part of me does want to do that. Another part of me is like, there is no way. Because the only real way to do that is to either, one, uh, obtain the means of production for how to make oversized cards like that, so I can start, making them for myself, and I can just, make 100 that way, and then they could be whatever cards I would want. Or two, get a bunch of money so I can just buy the oversized cards at regular market price over and over and over again. But I think they're like decently expensive. Honestly, I probably would have preferred to get like the 100 or $200 that the card is worth instead of just getting the card, but whatever. Now I have an extra prop forever. The other alternative is to keep entering more and more Magic events where the overall prize is an oversized card, and just keep winning them over and over and. My controller got disconnected. Yay, controller! Failing to work, like always. It says it disconnected. I did not disconnect it. It just disconnected itself. Oh, just barely level 81, huh? Weird. Nom nom nom. And with all that in mind, let's go drop some of these off. And then save, and then do all of my regular daily whatever stuff all over again, and it's mid-fall or something. No, it's late fall. Hey, my little brother's playing Don't Starve together. That's fun. Oh cool, it's raining, so my watering animals can have a bit of a break. Oh yeah, it is kind of a pattern up like that, isn't it? So, yeah. Turns out, bringing my artifact deck was in fact enough to win me the Grand Melee. Heck yes. And now, yeah, finally made it back home, or back to the old apartment, whatever. So I'm just going to be staying here for a few days. So that's cool. Yeah, right back, and I'm right back to trying to save up money to get a place over in Edmonton. Because if I lived there, then I could go to more events and wouldn't have to buy, wouldn't have to go through all the effort of getting, getting a bus ticket to go all the way down there, taking time off to go all the way down there, having someone look after Cinnabon, who's all curled up on the bed right now. He really likes it. That's nice. And yeah. And plus, of course, getting used to recording games again. Still don't know if I'm actually going to be recording Tears of the Kingdom. I feel like I should. But the big thing is, what I feel like I should do is that I should stream it, and then like record it while I'm streaming it and just take like highlights. Not necessarily just the highlights, but anything interesting. Anything that isn't just completely bad, right? So basically, do all the shrine, like all the shrines, all the quests. Or of course it could just be mindless banter, because there is definitely a good part of the game that's just, hey, now travel where you can barely see for like, an hour or so, and it's like, oh, well then. Like, why? Because the game tells you to. That's why. Why are there so many stumps all over the place here? But I mean, if by the end of the month I don't have a different game that I want to let's play on a semi-daily basis instead, sure, I'll do Tears of the Kingdom. Also, yeah, the event was nice and all, but I don't actually know if it was all in all worth it for the bus fare, getting someone to look after the cat, all that. It's nice to do something like that every once, like, once or twice a year, but doing it, say, every time such an event comes up, and especially if I have to go further away for it, like, going to Toronto for the convention was fun, but I don't want to go on, like, that Toronto trip every year. Like, gosh. Like, say, if I lived in Edmonton, and if there was an event like that going on every month, heck yeah. Just take a weekend and whatever. Maybe not necessarily buying like the full big package every time, but definitely for something just like, hey, let's just go, play some games, take part in a nice grand melee, maybe meet some people, have some fun with it all. As one should do. But as I do not so much. Now I'm almost wondering. Should whatever. Something completely unrelated. Are these all fully taken care of? Wait, what? Watt 1, Watt 2, Watt 3, and Watt 4. Oh, are they hungry? Shoot, if I made them starve. I think some of them are starving. Oh, no, this is water 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, right, not sheep 1, 2, 3, 4. And then sheep 25 to 6 to 7 to 8. Okay. 9, 10, 11, 12 are fine. 13, 14, 15, 16 are fine. So that is barn 5. And barn 6. And then, yeah, barn 7 still needs more. Okay. Gosh, I was very concerned there for a bit. Now, here's a topic of potential interest. What if I... No. I was just thinking, like, what if I make, like, just I'm trying to think here while also doing stuff, and that never ends well. What if I make like a MMO account and I just play some MMO and have that be a semi-daily? If I really get into it, I'm sure I could find like an hour's worth of content to make for every other day. Get into like, I don't know, RuneScape or whatever. Just make a whole new account, go through the tutorial island. Of course, off camera there'd be a lot of like just raising seals or no. Do the 4 times speed thing. And just have a whole bunch of 4 times speed episodes of just raising skills a whole bunch. Have that just be a common thing. It's like, yep. For this episode, we're just raising our wood cutting up like crazy. 4 hours. Just 4 times speed. Just an hour-long video. Just, let's say it's wood cutting up this time. Okay, well now this time, like, main issue, that would not be interesting. So, what I could do is raise up skills off camera, just do that in my free time, doesn't really matter, no big deal, but who cares, life goes on. And instead, have various videos. Yeah, just do all of like the different quests and stuff. Each video can just be some different quest that I do. Alright. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, don't do that. Yeah, no. So green, and then blue, and then... Yeah. Okay, cool. So red, orange, yellow, green, and then... Oh, wait, no. There we go, cool. But the reason I'm suddenly bringing up RuneScape out of nothing is that I just recently tried to get my little brother into RuneScape. I came to realize, oh yeah, that's right. That game is Okay. I could probably just, like, make a new account, like an MRS Plays account or whatever, and just do a nice run through. I just get, what, all of the reasonable non-member stuff done? Yeah, just go in, do all the non-member quests, and then if I have fun, get membership, then do all of the member quests. Because trying to just get all skills up to... Yeah, trying to get all the non-member skills up to 99 would be lame. Because that's just a heck of a lot of random grinding. But I could just do, complete all non-member quests run. And that would just be, you know, whatever. So who knows, maybe I'll do that. You know what? Screw it. I probably should. Maybe when I'm done with this, I'll go and do some RuneScape. Yeah, look up a bit on look up a bit on RuneScape. See what's really required. Now, what's really weird is that it's not raining in here, because technically this is inside a dungeon, so it's not prone to being exposed to the outside temperatures and all that, or outside weather. Sure. But it's still outside! It's thematically outside. Well, it's just 11:20, it's a Wednesday. Nothing really happening here, is there? There's nothing going on out here. So I could absolutely just flat out just water all of these things. But yeah, the invention was nice and all, but there wasn't exactly a lot that happened. I wish I could have, like, taken notes or something for the really big impressive plays, but there weren't many big impressive plays that happened. There was me winning the Grand Melee, which includes me asking questions to the judges where the judges themselves weren't sure of the answers for them, that was funny by itself. There was one game, I was playing the Floor deck, which is, ramp like crazy into big dumb spells. And before the game begins, I reveal that I have, like, Collective Voyage. Single green mana, sorcery. Each player can pay in any amount of mana, and then for all of the total amount of mana put into it, each player searches for that many basic, or up to that many basic lands, puts them into play tapped, and then they all shuffle their libraries. And so, I revealed that I had that. It's like, hey, let's be friendly here, alright? So player 1 played a turn 1 Sawing, player 2 played a land. I played, like, Forest Collective Voyage, so everyone got 3 basics, so the player 4 got to start turn 1 and untap 3 lands. So, you know, friendly start, until player 1 decides to go with an infinite combo, which player 1 then stops at a key moment. So player 1 was about to win, and if they had won that game, we would have packed up and been able to, you know, join in with a new game before it closed for the evening. Wow, that was some weird timing right there. But no, player 4 stopped it, so we all continued going. And then, because I think that was, I don't necessarily think that was the second turn they tried to win. I'm not sure, but I think that was like turn 3 they tried to win. I want to say it's turn 3, it might have been 4, but I want to say it was turn 3. Yeah, maybe next time I go to one of these things, I should get like a little like camera that I can like clamp onto the side of the table and just record all of these games now. Because this entire game would make for a highlight reel. It was just so awesome. Right. So anyway, basically right after that had happened, I cast a spell where we take all of our permanents and all of our cards in hand, shuffle them all into the library, draw that many cards, and then we can put out as many lands among those cards as we want. So, you know, reset the board, except everyone gets some number of lands. I think it was, I wound up with 10 lands out. Player 2 wound up with like 8. Player 1, the person who tried to win, wound up with like 5. And player 4, the person that stopped them, had like 2 or 3 or something. But then I got silenced before I could continue doing my stuff. So that was... Otherwise, I would have cast Warp World while having the most permanents out. So, I gave everyone some mana and I stacked everyone's hands. I wasn't allowed to do anything else that turn. Turn passes, players play a couple of things, whatever. On my next turn, so I think like turn 5, I'm guessing like turn 5, it's really hard to tell. I then go and I cast Eureka. So every player may put out as many permanents from the hand onto the battlefield as they wish. So we spend, you know, 5 minutes getting all the Eureka done. All the triggers happen, get all those triggers done. And then I overload a Cyclonic Rift. So it's like, oh, it's like, everyone show me the permanents you have. Cool, now put them all back. Get out all of your permanents. And no. Cool. I think I ruined the audio. Oh, no. It wasn't that I ruined the audio. It's just, I just ruined the audio for me, so I specifically can't hear anymore. Apparently you can still hear, but I can't hear anything. Oh, cool, and the game froze, and now the game is crashing. Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, I have to take care of my aminals again. Somehow. There we go. And then, okay, cool. So what's it, right. So yeah, Eureka into an overloaded Cyclonic Rift might be one of the funniest, or whatever, might be one of the funniest plays I've ever done. The rest of the game kind of went downhill. I continued on in a rather nice way until someone decided to put out a Winter Orb after I'd discarded a Signet because I thought, oh, I have a bunch of mana, I don't need this Signet. And then Winter Orb comes down, and if I had not thrown out that Signet, I probably would have won the game. Like, I am not joking. I am reasonably certain that I would have won had I not done that. Because I had a doubling season out, and I would have been able to get out a Planeswalker, like, a turn or two sooner that way. That could have immediately ulted and taken out the player who had it, and before they managed to take me out with Prey Darts. But, whatever. For all of that, I deserved the win, but I didn't get it. So, oh well. What else happened during the event? I don't even know. Whatever. I won the Grand Melee, and that... they all lined up. I won the Grand Melee, and that's all that really matters. And everything else that happened is almost like a long-lost dream or something, right? Maybe. But it's just nice to, you know, play Commander, and then did go to check out the prize wall. They didn't have much I really wanted there, and I was going to buy an entire collector booster box of the Lord of the Rings set, you know, searching for the One Ring and all. The One of One Ring and all, but then I realized I don't really want Lord of the Rings cards. Like, spend, you know, hundreds of dollars on this one booster box. And it's like, I'm not in a real position to sell any cards. Like, I could, but it's not a thing that I typically do. So trying to, like, find buyers and all that and get them sold and get them in hard fits and mail them out and stuff. It's not exactly a thing that I already have the setup for doing. So that would be a fair bit of work for it. And then there aren't really any cards in the Lord of the Rings set that I really want to keep, other than just a copy of, you know, the One Ring. It's like, yeah, I know, blah, blah, get the One of One Ring, sell it for like $2 million. My life would be a dream. Whatever. But as for actual cards, there isn't really anything in there that I want, is the problem. If it was a set filled with cards and it's like, oh, I want this, 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 like, then, like, yeah, I'd want to get a box and, like, maybe make a few just for fun commander decks based off from the pulls and all that, you know, have fun with it all. But as it is, no. And that made me think, like, okay, well, what kind of a set would I really want to have? And I came to the conclusion that if Wizards of the Coast ever actually does make a full My Little Pony set, because they did make the Ponies the Galloping set, and they did mention that, like, there was talk that the people who had made it really enjoyed themselves, and that they would be interested in making, like, a full-on, like, just a full pony, like, making more pony cards. Considering that one of the pony cards refers to, what, 4 cards that didn't actually get a printing, there is reason to believe that there will be more pony cards coming in the future. There is talk of that. So, yeah, if an actual My Little Pony Magic the Gathering set comes out, one thing I'd be curious, because the 3 pony cards that we have are all silver border cards. But it... Okay, to be fair, they all do have weird mechanics to them that kind of make them silver bordered. But I'm wondering how they would actually do, like, an actual blackboard My Little Pony set. Would they try to change these cards would they try to change these cards to make them proper black border, like, actual good for a proper use cards? Would they try to work with the Commander Rules Committee to make a legal for Commander but not legal for other formats version for these cards? Or would they leave these 3 cards as silver bordered, make the rest of the set black bordered? Or make some cards silver bordered and, like, most of the set black bordered, or just make the entire set silver bordered? Because if they make the whole set silver bordered, I don't think people would really like that so much. But if they make it so, like, say, the main 6 and some other major characters are silver bordered, and they all have unique, like, abilities that don't work in black bordered Magic, and all of the other cards are just black bordered, these can work in normal Magic, I think that would be cool. If all of the silver bordered cards in the set are legendary, you could just use one as your commander. and have your dad, and have the 99 be Blackboard and everything would be fine. And I think that would be pretty fine to just have happen. Oh, right, form. Good for like a day, but I really should at some point. Feel Zims up, as it were. Well, that was unfortunate. So yeah. But yeah, oh. And it's like, oh, well, why are you so excited about My Little Pony cards? You could just play the My Little Pony collectible card game. Because nobody plays the My Little Pony collectible card game. It's not... Like, I can't make just a pony commander deck, even though with the My Little Pony CCG, the decks are kind of like commander decks because you do have, like, one specific pony, and then you build around that, and you, like, have access to that pony, like, all the time. But, hey, I placed 4th in, like, Nationals for the MLP CCG, okay? Oh yeah, and I also got a new playmat. I had like a golden ticket playmat whatever thing. So I got like a fancy Atraxa playmat. So I really didn't have to bring my own MRS Plays mat. I did, but didn't have to, and nobody commented on it. I don't think that I'm getting any extra viewers from the whole always be plugging stuff, but... Oh, right, shoot, the whole fridge is unorganized again. Drat. Okay, actually, now that I think about it, other than the medical herb specifically, because medical herb specifically is important, I don't think for these that it particularly matters. Oh no, that's right, it does kind of matter because organizing stuff, right? Other than that, I don't think it really matters. Maybe I'll go and do some of that off camera, maybe I won't. Who knows? I don't know. Yeah, I really hoped I'd have more to talk about. Guess I just, like, don't. What is it? So... Okay. So about 15, 16, 17. So sell the stuff that I'm carrying and buy 17 batches of feed. I'm gonna go there later. In like 9 days when we can go there.
Come on in. Thanks for coming, like always.
Yeah, this is always gonna be level 1, isn't it? Yay! 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 'Huh. So one more batch. Just as I had thought.
Thanks for coming, like always.
It's weird that doesn't actually properly stack, but whatever, I got it. We can just warp right back home. It's fine. And 12. I also tried to get my little brother into Neopets, because, hey, Neopets is fun for kids as games, and really wish that there was, like, a version that as an adult could get into. But turns out that Neopets, at some point in the last few years, went from having hundreds of games on their website to having, like, 14. They lost, like, all of their games. Yeah, because, like, what, Flash stopped being supported or something, and instead of just going to some other way to have all their Flash games working, they decided, hey, let's just not have games anymore. Like, the entire point of Neopets was you play games to get, you know, the in-website currency to do things. Like, the money was made by playing games. And then they decide, oh, let's not. And it's like, that is so lame that they decided to just do that. Yeah, I should have, wait, oh, I can still do that. It's completely lame that they arbitrarily just decided to go that route, and it's like... See, I remember being into Neopets, and I remember getting into it when I was, like, a teenager or whatever, where I found, it's like, hey... Because, what was it? Right. For each individual game, you can submit your score 3 times, but the highest amount of Neopoints you can get from any individual submission is 1,000 Neopoints. So you can make as many as 3,000 Neopoints per game. And I'd found like 5 games was really easy to get the 1,000 Neopoint limit. So I just go on every day, play those 5 games 3 times each, get an extra 15,000 Neopoints a day, and then just put that all in the bank. None of those games are still on, by the way. But that's just like a thing that I did. Like, no big deal. And it's like, it's hard to really explain what I mean by like a more adult version. Like, I don't want a not safe for work version of Neopets, no. But I want a thing that's like not obviously made for children. Like, yeah, sure, I want to have like, yeah, a website I can just go onto every day. And like imagine if, say, Steam in general had a thing where you could like get a little like Steam alien creature thing as a pet that you could have on your profile. Like, hey, this is, you know, username, and my pet is MRS Plays, like little unicorn looking thing. Yeah, like imagine if, and then playing. I mean, this is what kind of breaks down, because on Neopets it's all like minigame stuff, whatever. But if it's like playing games on Steam, it's like, hey, you got like Steam points, and you can use those Steam points for like, yeah, this is what really breaks down. What, profile bonus, whatever. Like, whatever. I want, like, a version of Neopets, but not aimed towards children. Or, heck, I could even just go back into Neopets again. The issue with Neopets is that there are no games anymore. I should try going around. I should try looking through Neopets to see what actually is still there. Because I remember some little mini games that might not have been Flash-based that would be fun to try out again. And if they are still around, then so much the better, am I right? Yeah, my strength is 8 behind the level. It's like, heck yeah, there was some fun games and stuff to play on there, whatever. So I did some looking around, and I found that there was, like, a third-party group that wanted to basically remake Neopets, like, the way it originally was or something. So I signed up to join them. I joined into their Discord. I'm still trying to get information about what it actually is, but apparently when they want more people to sign up and play their alpha, I'm on that list, so I could be called in to test it out, and it's just a little thing to go on to have, like, your little pet. I remember that there was one little game we, like, ran a business, but it worked almost, like, in real time. So it's like, okay, it's like, was it, you made, like, Neopets plushies to sell at your business. So it's like, okay, what kind of a plush do you want to make? It's like, okay, it's like, okay, so this is, like, the design you're using. So you'll need, like, you know, X amount of fabric to Y, X amount of fabric to Y amount of stuffing to Z amount of accessories. Like, okay, what kind of fabric do you want? Like, what kind of stuffing and what kind of accessories and stuff. It's like, do you want to use, like, you know, broken buttons and stuff for the, like, eyes, or do you want to use, like, jewels and stuff? It's like using higher quality stuff is going to be a lot more expensive. Yeah, but it's like, okay, it's like, so you have to, you know, buy enough to make the a starting amount of plushes. Like, okay, well, now you also need a business. So, like, it's like, well, okay, well, you need a warehouse. Don't forget to pay rent on your warehouse. Like, eventually you'll need to, like, increase the size of your warehouse. Like, get more space so you can hold more plushies and stuff for the purposes of selling them. And, like, eventually, and don't forget you also need a business. Like, okay, you need, like, floors, you need lights, you need shelves, you need advertising, and, like, all of this stuff costs money, but, like, the more money that you spend on things, like, the more people will want to come to your store, and, like, the more that you spend on the plushes, the more that they'd be willing to pay for a plush. But you don't want to spend all of your money on, like, making top-of-the-line plushes and not be able to, like, pay rent for your warehouse. Like, if nobody comes to your shop, it doesn't matter how good quality the plushes are. If nobody's going there, nobody's gonna buy them. Meanwhile, if you have, like, you know, 10,000 people coming to your, I keep wanting to call it restaurant, coming to your store, but you only have, like, 1,000 plushes, you're not gonna be able to sell 10,000 plushes, and people are going to be angry because you advertise too much. And, like, instead of it just being like, okay, this is what you do, like, click, like, next day, but let's see how it works. Like, no, you actually have to just come back the next day. And, like, you can only play between, like, what's, like, 6 a.m. and, like, 9 p.m. or something, and then it's like, nope, factory is closed, you have to come back tomorrow, and stuff. It's like, and it was on a per month basis, so if you really wanted to make the best of it, you'd start on the first of the month, and then just see how far you can get in the span of a month. But my attention span was never that great, so I might play for, like, 2 days, and then completely forget about it, and then come back, like, 2 weeks later, like, oh, I went bankrupt because, like, I didn't, you know, do anything for, like, 2 weeks. Or there was like that one RPG. You play this little, was it like a dog Neopet, whatever, and you like go around the map and you like level up and stuff. And I want to play that game again, but I don't remember the name of it. I don't even know if it's on the website. I remember that there was almost turn-based, like, what, tabletop battle game, whatever. Like, there were a lot of really interesting games on there that I kind of actually really want to try again. You know what, screw it. If I can find that RPG, I'm doing a Let's Play of it. I don't flippin' care that it's a Neopets. I'm doing a Let's Play of it. I've never beaten that thing. I don't think I've ever beaten that thing. I'm doing a Let's Play of it. And there's a sequel. I'm doing a Let's Play of the sequel too. I'm doing a Let's Play of both. I don't care if it's made for kids. So is this game that I'm playing now. Yeah, Neopets has like 14 games left on their website, and one of them is the Choose Your Own Adventure thing that isn't actually even a game. It's like, what and why? Yeah, strictly speaking, if I want to increase my, like, character stats or anything, I can do that very easily. Pretty much whenever I want, just by buying, like, a few hundred medical herbs from the doctor's office. And balancing between making recovery potions, drinking recovery potions, and making and using whatever other stuff I need. So I guess it's almost fair that in this game you can't just buy whatever crafting items you need. Because of the whole time is paused thing. Because the time is paused when you are in a building. And the whole, you can sell to shopkeepers to get money immediately without having to ship things. Yeah, I guess it's fair that you can't just buy whatever crafting materials you might want. So yeah, might do a Let's Play on RuneScape. I'm going to see about some Neopet stuff to do Let's Plays of. Yeah, those games is, was it Hannah in the Pirate Caves and Hannah in the Ice Caves? Like, I don't think I've actually beat either of them. I might be in one of them. Those games were nice. It's been so long since I've played them. I've gotten some nostalgia for them. Okay, if this Neopets recovery whatever thing can remake Neopets basically just as well. Yeah, another issue with Neopets that I saw for a while there was, like, basically every page got flooded with ads of, you can buy this stuff with Neobucks. Like, you know, ask your parents for their credit card information so you can buy our Neobucks, so you can get, like, a paintbrush to paint your Neopets. Like, you could also buy those paintbrushes with Neo points, can you? Not anymore. Now you can only buy them with the Neobucks. Hey, you can make like a Neopet's house. You need Neobucks to buy like wall segments or like every single thing used for the house you can get with Neobucks. And it's like I don't want to pay money for this. Like I do have money I could pay. I don't want to have to pay any money into this period. Get Neobucks. And it's like, at first it was like just this thing of, because I remember for flippin' ever ago, there was a promotion with McDonald's where you could get like Neopets toys from McDonald's. And they had like a tag on them with like a code. You could go in, put in the code, and get a couple of free items. And it's like, yeah, that is spending real money for items, but really that is spending real money for a toy. That, like an actual physical toy that you can have and hold. And then you also got some in-game items. God, I just remember I had one of the more, like, dragon-looking ones. Like a Shiro, I think, whatever. And I named a yellow one, and I named it Milo. And I think that was when I was living at my grandparents' place. I was like 8 years old. I had a little yellow Neopet, and I named it Milo, and, you know, I was a kid playing around with my toy. And I remember one... Oh, shoot. And I remember one day in particular, I was like just sitting there and like watching some TV, you know, talking with my little toy and pretend that it was saying that's like, I was like pretending that it didn't really want to watch, but like I did, so I was just like, oh Milo, I'm going to watch anyway. It's like, you're just a toy, it doesn't matter, just, you know, be good and sit here and watch TV. I go and watch the show. No people walked, like came into the room. I was the only person in the room. No animals came into the room, the cats, the dogs, none of them came into the room. But when I looked over at where I'd left Milo, like, somehow over the span of like 10 minutes, he had disappeared. No one came by and like moved him, no animals came by and moved him. It wasn't like I was sitting on the couch and he like fallen into the cushions. I was just sitting on the floor. I like looked all around. No, wasn't sitting on him, didn't get, you know. And I remember his name was Milo because my cousin, you know, hearing how upset I was about losing it, gave me a blue one that I then named, like, Blue-O, because it blew Milo. And I was, like, so upset about losing it, you know, that whatever. I eventually found it, like, almost 10 years later. When I happened to be visiting my grandparents' place, and it's like, oh yeah, this little toy box that I had definitely gone into and used after the event of losing Milo. It's not like it just been sitting there for untouched for 10 years. Like, I definitely looked through there for Milo, and on future events, you know, played with the toys in that toy box. And I was all like, oh yeah, I think I was like, look, it's like, oh yeah, I remember playing with these when I was little. I'm like, reached in, and here comes Milo, little plush yellow dinosaur, a Neopet figure, and with like, you know, plastic farmers and farm animals. It's like, how? Like, sure, obviously, one of my grandparents must have found it and thought, oh, this is a child's toy. I'll put it in the bin with the children's toys. But how did I lose Milo? It was been sitting there. Like, the only thing that makes sense is if someone actually had come up, I didn't notice them, and actually taken it, and, like, gone. But, like, I don't know who... Like, I think the only other people in the house, like, probably were my grandparents, and they wouldn't do that sort of a thing. So unless, you know, the dog, or one of the... Unless one of the dogs or one of the cats had secretly come up behind me where I couldn't see it, taken it silently, and, like, backed away and, like, hid it somewhere... Or, you know, a fairy came by and so, like, I don't know. It disappeared. And I found it almost 10 years later. But it's just, like, completely vanished out of nothing. And it just so happened to be after I had a make-believe argument with it where it was all like, I don't want to watch this. Well, too bad you have to. And Milo's like, yeah, well, screw you. I'm not watching this.